Yo, what is up, man? It's your boy Damn D POV, and we are back with another video, back with another discussion. Just want to talk about the current event that happened about Mr. Skinny apologizing to me and apologizing about what he did and what he said to me. So I want to address that and, say my piece on that. Now, I did watch his live stream and I did hear him say that, he apologizes for talking about my dad, that he apologized talking about my ex-girlfriend. He talked that he apologized for saying things about my mom and stuff like that. So, I don't know if that was the liquor speaking for him, but they say, and I'm not saying this in a disrespectful manner, but they say a drunk man tells no lies, right? And when you drinking, the truth comes out. So if that's how you truly feel, and it seems like you was being sincere when you said that, it seemed like you was being sincere. And if you truly are sincere about what you said, about you apologize for, saying everything that you said about my father, saying everything that you said about my ex, and saying everything that you said about my mother, if you are truly sincere about that, then it is what it is, man. Like, I will accept your apology, but I'll never forget, right? I will accept it, but I'll never forget. It never had to come to this point. I'm still lost. Like, I'm truly, I'm not just saying it just for the camera. I'm truly lost and confused of where it went left. Like, it should have never went this way. It should have never went this way. But, everything happened for a reason, right? Everything in life happens for a reason. And, you said what you said, I said what I said. And as I said in my last video, from the things that were being said, I can never be cool. I can never be cool with Mr. Skinny. Like, I just can't, man. The things that he was saying was just totally out of bounds, uncalled for, inappropriate. It's just, I can't never forget that. I can forgive, you know what I mean? I can forgive, but I'll never forget it. So it is what it is. And like I said from my last video, that was on Mother's Day. I gave Mr. Skinny the offer of, hey, it's Mother's Day, you know what I'm saying? I'm ready to let bygones be bygones if you agree to it, right? This is not a waving the white flag, or this is not copping the plea. This is none of that, right? But it's just like, man, at this point in time, you said what you said, I said what I had to say. Nobody's backing down, right? Like, nobody's backing down like, oh, you beat me, or I'm just trying to be a man in this situation and just trying to move on, right? People say that they want to move on, but do you truly want to move on? And I truly do want to move on. So that's why I made that offer to him on Mother's Day. That was 2 weeks ago. And he said, all right, cool. So the reason why I can like the reason why I'm able to accept his offer of him apologizing about the things that he said about my recently deceased father is because so far he hasn't made any videos, he hasn't said anything. So that kind of gives me the notion of, all right, well then he might be, he might be a man of his word because he hasn't said anything. I haven't made any videos about him. I haven't made any videos talking about him or nothing like that. And I know me, like I'm a man of my word. If I say I'm gonna do something, if I say I'm gonna stop talking about you, whatever I say that I'm going to do, I'm going to do it. So I know me. And I've kept my end of the bargain. And so far he has kept his end of the bargain. So since he has kept his end of the bargain, I can come on and say, all right, cool. I accept your apology. I can forgive because I am a man of God. I'm not a perfect man. All right, I'm not a perfect man. I still make bad decisions. I still sin. I'm not the perfect person, but I do believe in God, and God is a forgiving God, right? So I do forgive, but I would never forget. Nah, I would never forget. Never, ever forget, And one of the reasons why I can, put this to the side is because when he was saying all those disrespectful things about my father, about my dad, like it honestly truly didn't bother me, right? Because he never met my dad a day in his life. He never talked to my dad a day in his life. He doesn't know anything about me and my dad's relationship. So I knew whatever he was just saying, it was just made up stuff, right? Just made up stuff, trying to hurt me, trying to, just doing what he's doing. So when you know the truth, and like I'm not trying to be cliche when I say this, but it's a real thing. When you know the truth, lies don't hurt you, right? Like what he said about me and towards me and about my dad and my girlfriend and well, not my girlfriend, but my ex-girlfriend and my mom, it didn't hurt me because it wasn't true, right? Because it wasn't true. So I'm just like, bro, why are you saying all this? You know what I mean? Like, why? Like one thing about me, right? Like I am a true believer of this, right? Like, as I said in my videos, I don't mind beef. You know what I mean? And I told him this when we were talking in DMs and stuff like this, and when he was, when he was first going at me and stuff, and he was sending me DMs, I'm like, bro, you can talk about me all you want. I don't care. Like, you can make lies about me. I don't care. But I'm like, bro, leave my dad out of this. Leave my ex out of this. Leave my mom. I was just like, why are you talking about the people around me? Right? And I said that because I would never do that. And I never done that. When I have a back and forth with someone, I'm directing my energy towards that person. I would never talk about anybody's parents, anybody's kids, anybody's girlfriend. Nah, I'm not with that because they have nothing to do with the situation. So that's one thing I never understood, why he went that. I mean, I understand why he went that way and went that direction because it's YouTube. It sounds good to the audience, right? It's all entertainment. So I understand that factor, but even if it's just YouTube and entertainment, it's like, nah, I don't. It's like, that's not how I rock. You know what I mean? So I stand on that. Like I said, I don't mind the beef. I don't mind the back and forth and the roasting, and I love it. I love that. But once you start talking about people's moms, fathers, I'm good. I'm all right. So that's one thing I never understood about that. But everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason, and as I said, man, the words that he said about my father and my mom never hurt me, right? Because I know the truth. And when you know the truth, even random lies and disparaging words and very disrespectful words, like he said that he was gonna piss on my father's grave, like everything that he said to Kwame Brown, he said to me, but shit, even worse, right? So that's why, people think I'm just like bullshitting, but that's why I can relate to Kwame Brown. You know what I'm saying? Because the stuff that he went through, I went through. So I know exactly what Kwame Brown is feeling and everything. So, but like his words never hurt me. But nobody wants to go online and hear disparaging words about their parents, right? Especially when it was fresh. Like when my father passed, I never thought that day would come. I never thought that day would come. I'm more accepting of it now because it's been a year later. So, I've accepted for what it is, It's a part of life. But during that time, it was just hard, all right? Because it seemed like my dad was always there, right? And when it happened, I'm like, oh, shit, this is for real. You know what I mean? Because my dad has been sick before, and he's came home and everything's okay, and you know what I mean? So one other things that hurt about my father passing is that and I've explained this before, but some of y'all probably didn't watch that video because it was an old video. And it still hurts. I wasn't able to see my father when he passed. That still hurts, and that still sucks because last year when he passed, that was when COVID was strong. That's when people were still wearing masks, and the hospital was they had strict policies, right? Very strict policies. Like you had to get a COVID test. You had you couldn't have more than one visitor, right? So that's the whole thing that was going on about the hospitals. You couldn't have more than one visitor. So it was either me go visit my dad or my mom go visit my dad. And I told my mom to go visit because, she can ask the doctors, questions and stuff like that I don't know about, right? So, I just told my mom, okay, well, Mom, you go visit him and, you can ask all the questions about the doctors and, yada, yada, this and that, and then you can come back and tell me, right? So I chose to, pick my mom to go to the hospital because at that time, once again, you can only, the hospital will only let one person go. So I just told my mom. And when my mom went up there, she was telling me, he doesn't look good and stuff like that. But I was like, well, can I come up there? I was trying to come up there, but at that point in time, the hospital would not allow multiple guests. Like they was really strict on that. So my mom kept fighting and kept fighting and kept fighting. Like, can you please let my son see his father, this and that? So finally, the hospital agreed to, okay, he can come, see us, because I think they just changed the policy or something like that. And they finally agreed, right? So when they finally agreed, I was like, all right, cool. I'm about to come up there and, visit my dad and, just let him know that I'm here for him, right? So, I get stuff in order, I made sure that day that I did everything before I went to the hospital. So, I would not have any reason to leave, right? So I did all my stuff before I went to the hospital to go see my dad. So, I won't have any interruptions. So I made sure I took care of all my business and did everything, ran all my errands, yada, yada, yada. And then after I was done, I went to the hospital. And when I was going to the hospital, it was traffic. It was traffic because I came around like 5 o'clock, and it was traffic. So I was getting annoyed, and then parking was crazy. I couldn't find a parking spot. So, but when I finally found a parking spot, I didn't know where the hospital was because, like, in Houston, downtown area, like, there's so many different hospitals. It's crazy. So I was lost of trying to figure out where the hospital was. And when I did find the hospital and I did made it to the elevator, literally right when I made it up to his floor, I walked to the front desk. I was like, hey, I'm here to see my dad, Doris Wilson. And right when I said his name, the people in the front desk, they said, like they literally said, and right when I seen them say that, and I looked at their face expression, I knew something happened. And literally, it still kind of hurts, but literally, my dad passed away right when I entered the hospital. Right when I got on his floor, literally right when I got to his floor where he was at, and right before I went to the front desk. And his room was literally across the desk. He passed away. Like literally right before. So that like that still hurts. That I wasn't able to see him before he passed. And you know, the nurse, the nurse said, like right before he passed, that he asked for me. Yeah, so and I was trying to make it there. Like one thing about my dad, he always used to tell me, make sure that you take care of your business, right? So, I was following my dad's, words. My dad always used to tell me, make sure you take care of all your business first. Make sure you handle all your business first. Make sure that so I was doing what he told me, to always do as a kid. So I made sure, I did everything that I had to do before I, went to go see him. And it's crazy because, that still plays in my head. Like, you know, the traffic situation. Like if there was no traffic, if there was no parking situation, like, and if I would have found the hospital faster, because it's like, I don't know, but like literally right before, like maybe like a minute before I walked in the hospital and made it to the floor and made it to the front desk of the floor, he passed away. So, you know, that hurts. That hurts. Like the words doesn't hurt me because, you know, what Mr. Skinny is saying about my father was not true at all. But you know, the the thing that really hurts and still bothers me is that, I wasn't able to see him in the hospital when he passed. And when I was able to see him, literally he literally passed right before I could make it to his room. Yeah, it's crazy. So, but anyway, um, yeah, man, I said that to say, like the words that Mrs. Skinny was saying, it really didn't affect me. But no, nobody wants to go on the internet and hear someone saying disparaging things about their father, about their recent deceased father. Like nobody wants to hear about that. Um, so I can forgive, but I won't forget. I won't ever forget. Like I said, me and Mr. Skinny would never be cool for the simple fact, like if Mr. Skinny would have attacked me and not anybody around me, there it there could have been a possibility that we could be cool again, right? Um, if Mr. Skinny would have only attacked me and roasted me and say this and say that, there's a possibility that me and Skinny could have been cool. But the stuff he was saying about my dad and my father and my ex, nah, there's it's no coming back from that. Like I can never, nah. Me and Skinny would never be cool. I don't even want to talk to him like face to face. I don't want to. I don't like the only type of communication is going to be through this lens right here. I'll make a video or he make a video and that's it. But um, you know, it is what it is. So Skinny, if you are sincere about your apology, I'll accept it. I'll accept it, but I'll never forget. I can forgive, but I'll never forget. So, I'm gonna close this video because I'm sure this video is pretty long. I'm gonna close this video on this. My dad used to always tell me, like my dad used to always tell me, and I still, you know, follow what he said. Um, my dad used to tell me, never let a man, um, Never let a man dictate your behavior. Never let a man have control over your behavior, over your actions. So that's that still sticks with me. So no matter what, Skinny said about my father, never really affected me because I never allowed his words to dictate how I felt. I felt the reason why I felt because of the situation of, me not being able to see my father. But I never let Skinny words affect me in the way of, you know, anyway. So yeah, that's about it. I know this video is probably probably long as hell, but anyway, um, it is what it is, man. Like I said, I won't make any videos about you as long as you don't make no videos about me. And if you are sincere in your apology about what you said about my father, about my ex and my mom, cool. It is what it is. I will accept it. We can go our separate ways. I'm just gonna be, you know, like we don't have to talk. We don't have to do nothing. We can just go our separate ways. It is what it is, man. It's your boy Damn D POV signing out.